RISAConnection utilizes interactive connection modeling and visualization, including 2D and 3D views, for the creation and design of a variety of steel connections. In this video, we'll take a look at creating reports for final documentation in RISAConnection. So in this case, I've got a completed project. So we can see over here in the Project Explorer that I've got 6 connections. I've got some shear connections, some brace connections. I've got a base plate connection and a moment connection. And so you can see here also that all of them are now have a passing unity check. So we've got everything kind of figured out and ready to go. And we need to create documentation so that we can include this in our larger calc package for our given project. And so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here to File. And before we go ahead and look at the report, let's just look at the page setup real quick. So in the page setup, we just have a few options, mainly here if we want to include different header or footers, and if we want to change the font size as well as the margins. With those overall settings established, we can go over to the Print Report option here. And so when we choose Print Report, we can start to see all the information and all the options that exist in this dialog. So to begin, we have some input data options. So we can include the global description of the project, the global solution options, that's like the code and stuff like that. The Project Explorer summary is actually just this basic summary here, which shows the name of the connection as well as the unity check and the pass or fail. We can then choose the report options that we want to include. So we can choose to include all 2D and 3D views. And then we can choose different ways to include the limit states. So either a fully expanded view, a fully collapsed view, or an as seen view. And so if I actually close this out and open up one of these reports, and then I choose to maybe expand, I don't know, 2 different limit states here, I can go ahead and back into the print report option. And then for that particular connection, so that's B5 to column C2 moment, I could go ahead and add in a different type of view here. We can also include the members report, the components report, and the properties report to just give us more information from our properties that we established over here on the right side of the screen. Finally, if we were using a model that was integrated with RISA 3D and that it had multiple load combinations, we could choose to either print the governing load combination, which is our standard option, or we could go ahead and select a single load combination to choose. Maybe we want to review maybe just the dead load combinations or something for that matter. We can go ahead and choose that on our own. Next, we can choose the available connections. So I'm actually just going to grab all these and add them all. We can also add an additional PDF attachment. So maybe you have a detail or something. And so I'm going to go ahead and click on File Location here and look at the desktop. And then here we can see I have this flange plate connection detail. So I'm going to go ahead and add that. And I'm going to move it up here. We can go ahead and move it around if we want to. And we can basically choose where everything exists in our report. Now, if we're ready, we can go ahead and print preview. And we can go ahead and see our preview of all of our different connection reports here. So in this case, we chose a fully expanded view for all our connections. And so we can see kind of all the expanded limit states for each and every connection. Now, when we're ready, we could go ahead and save this to PDF. I'm just going to go ahead and save it here on my desktop. So let's call this our Watney residence report. And we can click Save. And we're going to go ahead and generate the PDF report. And then depending on the PDF reader that you have installed on your computer, it'll go ahead and launch that so you can see that report in your PDF viewer. Lastly, there's another option for exporting information for RISAConnection. We can export our single connections or all our connections to a DXF file. So if we choose to export a DXF, we could choose basically the DXF options and the scaling, and then we could see all of our connection details in an AutoCAD file if we choose. For more information about RISAConnection, including features and online help, please visit risa.com.